Hey everybody, how's it going? This video is on synergy and giving the basics of what it is, trying to explain it as best I can, which is going to probably fail horribly, but we'll try it. And giving some examples of how to do it. So, synergy. Synergy is a way of building an army for 40k or any army, any type of war game. I'm focusing on 40k because that's what I play. I shouldn't have to be repeating this, but just in case some of the new viewers are wondering, yeah, I'm a 40k player and that's pretty much it. The idea of synergy is basically you have look at your army list as one gigantic machine that all works together. Each piece is a gear or a part of that machine that when they work together, the machine runs. Now, it's not the best analogy because you're not fragile like that. If you remove one gear, the machine's not going to break down. But the whole concept is that instead of having 2 or 3 little machines that are working simultaneously at the same time, but not necessarily together and towards one goal, like you have part of your army doing this, part of your army doing this, and part of your army doing this, and they're going to just do that, not really supporting each other because maybe they can't that well, or else we built it. That's not synergy. Synergy is taking those 3 parts, combining it together into one big machine that's going to work like a well-oiled machine constantly. That's synergy. Basically think of it as Squad A does one job, Squad B does a different job, but they support each other because of that. Squad C supports Squad A, Squad D supports Squad B, Squad E supports Squad A and B, and therefore the other squads. Squad F, so on and so forth, whatever it is, they're in support of each other. That would be synergy, as opposed to Squad A does this job, Squad B does another job, Squad C does another job, Squad D, so on and so forth, just keep doing separate jobs without any support of each other. So how does this look in a real army list? So using Space Marines as an example because that's all I know. Tactical Squad A has Heavy Bolter and Flamer. Tactical Squad B, not C. Tactical Squad B has Missile Launcher, Melta Gun. Tactical Squad C has Last Cannon, Flamer. You can see kind of how they support each other but have different roles at the same time. Just one example. Tactical Squad D has Plasma Gun, Plasma Cannon, for example. Or Tactical Squad has Last Cannon, Plasma Gun. Dreadnought has Assault Cannon and Dreadnought Close Combat Weapon. Predator has Twin Last Cannon and Heavy Bolters, so on and so forth. So they kind of support each other a bit there. It doesn't have to be just one type of squad. That's synergy. And every army list, every codex, every war game has synergy built into its different races or armies or whatever innately, because you're representing an army. Army's going to work together to achieve a goal. You're not representing many champions going around doing things on their own. You're representing an army. So, unless of course the game is about many champions, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about 40k as the primary example here. So synergy is innately built in. If you build an army that's just throwing things together in happenstance, it will still be synergy because that's the way it rolls. As long as you're killing your opponent and taking out certain things, you got synergy pretty much. So synergy is there in its most basic form without any type of addition on your conscious thought process for it, as well as if you put active thought process into it, you only increase your synergy. For example, min-maxing, which is usually viewed as a power gaming approach, will have synergy in it even though they're not building for synergy, but it's going to have weak synergy in it. So that's just a little food for thought. Synergy is going to be there. You don't have to specifically build thinking of synergy. There we go. Because it's there already. But in thinking about it and being actively trying to pursue it, you can only increase the amount of synergy you have. Now, one thing I want to talk about is redundancy. redundancy in an army is key. You don't want to lose a squad and lose your only anti-tank potential out there. Redundancy is important, and redundancy helps out synergy. Redundancy isn't necessarily synergy when I think about it in the most literal way possible, because it's not in support of the squad directly. It's more in doing the same job with a different squad, completely. And redundancy can be as literal as having a clone of a squad you have. So having a tactical squad with Power Fist, Multi-Melta, Melta-Gun, and having a second squad just like that. That's redundancy. Redundancy can also be having a squad that's Last Cannon, Melta-Gun, and then having another squad be Melta-Gun, Missile Launcher. It gives it some different capabilities, yes, but if you're using that squad primarily as anti-tank hunting, they're kind of redundant in that fact, and that's good. Don't get me wrong. That does help synergy. For example, my Thousand Suns pre-heresy list had 3,000 Sun squads equipped basically exactly the same. All the same squad size, all of the same psychic power for the Aspiring Sorcerer. A lot of redundancy there, because that's what I needed for the army, and the squads worked well together. I don't really like calling redundancy synergy because it's not technically, in my mind, the same exact thing, but redundancy is very important, and redundancy will help you increase your synergy potential, because having, let's say, 3 different units in your army that can take out tanks is great. Having 3 different units or more that can take out infantry is great. I mean, you have to be mindful, though. You don't want to have so much anti-tank capability that your anti-infantry capability is weakened too much. You do want to have a blend. A synergized list can be viewed as one of those quote-unquote balanced lists, where min-max is more of a power game list. And synergizing can be very powerful. An army that can, has some redundancy to it and lots of synergy in it is a very strong army, if not overtly. But that, I mean, at first glance, an army may not seem that powerful compared to like a min-max army list. But when you actually look at it, you see how part A, B, C, and D work together, and how they got the redundancy built in and things of that nature. And that is more powerful, in my mind, than having just those obviously powerful units in an army thrown together to kind of work together. Because, like I said, the reason synergy is everywhere in every army because it's important for an army to have synergy. So, definitely, I would suggest if you're a min-max builder, it's not necessarily mean you're a power gamer. You can be a min-max builder and not be power gaming. You just want to have the most tanks in an army, for example. And I'll go over min-max in its own video. But if you never really built anything but min-maxing, like you want to maximize infantry or maximize the vehicles or maximize whatever, give it a shot. It definitely gives you a different mindset in how to build an army list, and it definitely gives you a different mindset of how to play the army. Even if you don't like it, it's good practice to see how synergized lists work and the mindset people use. So when you fight against it, you have an understanding of what to do. It's not the perfect way to build an army list. There is no perfect way to build an army list. Everything will have a weakness, and everything will have a way to overcome something. So just wanted to put that out there. If that helped at all, I hope I explained it semi-coherently. And I will do a min-max video as well, because that's another way to build an army list. Basically, I view it as 2 ways. You can synergize your list, or you can min-max your list. Can you blend the 2 together? Yeah, but without having that gray area, just having the black and the white, I would say the 2 sides of the spectrum are synergizing or min-maxing. That's just my opinion. People may call something different, or have a different opinion entirely, and that's great. So that's pretty much it. So until next time, take it easy.